Folks, hello and welcome to Gamers Health. Yay! It's Saturday night. Sorry, I'm Erik Tenkar, one half of your host. And with me, as you have every Saturday night, is my better half, Rachel, best known as Rage. So, we spent the afternoon in Manhattan with Joe the Lawyer, Professor DM, and a couple of others from the local circle, meeting at the complete strategist for those who don't know. And then normally, last 2 years, we headed across the street to the captain's. But this time we went about 2 blocks away.
Yeah, 2 blocks down, there's an Irish pub called
The Fele,
Fele.
Fele,
Yep.
Fele, Fele. Almost sounds Italian if you say it the right way.
Fele.
Fele. But
I think it makes shadow or something.
Great food, great atmosphere until the construction started on the sidewalk not across the street, on the street right outside
Right out the
pub.
window.
Yeah, if you've ever used a massage gun, it felt like that on my ass as my seat was vibrating with the work they were doing. I was swearing to God, holy shit. So, I titled this "Changing Habits for the Better," and I'll explain.
No, this is great. Yep.
I'll explain where that comes into play. So, on zoomed in way too much. On Monday, Rach and I decided to take a trip to the pharmacy that handles my Mounjaro prescription because, you know, it was ready to refill it. I had one dose left, 1 week left, but I'm supposed to be going up to the next dose, 12.5, and they go to fill it, and they're very sweet at this pharmacy. They're really on top of stuff, and the pharmacist is like, Erik, um, the coupon that you've been using is no longer
Active.
no longer active. It's no longer.
It expired on June 30th.
So now, I could have just gone earlier because I was letting my prescription literally run out before filling the next. But maybe if I'd gone early, I could have gotten an extra month out of the deal. But here's the deal. So as it was with the coupon I was using, I was getting Mounjaro for $25 a month as somebody with commercial insurance, but my commercial insurance wasn't covering the Mounjaro. Not a big deal. That was in effect since last fall. Well, the new deal is if your commercial insurance doesn't cover it, you pay $425 out of pocket. And I was stunned.
They're like, we still have a deal for you.
No,
not much.
No.
Not her, but the company.
The company.
Eli Lilly.
So I was like,
yeah.
And she's like, listen, we're going to reach out to your doctor. You're type 2 diabetic, right? I'm like, yeah, definitely. She's like, all right, well, I'll reach out to your doc, and he'll reach out to the insurance company. And
what they're hoping is that the docs will convince the insurance to continue people on these medicines and get them paid for. Easier said than done.
Right. So the insurance company doesn't give a flying fuck. All right. Let's get out of the way.
It's not on our formulary. Sorry.
Yeah. So and honestly, the deal is, and as I was thinking about this, even if it was on their formulary, if they were covering $400 a month, that would have been $4,800 a year out of my prescription budget, which is capped at $7,000.
Yeah,
I would have been burned out earlier than I think I ran my prescription for me. My prescription budget runs from July 1st through the end of June 30th. So things like brand names, Farxiga, Brilinta, and Trusto, all these things are kicking my budget, and so I had to pay out of pocket for Farziga in April.
Yes.
So, I mean, that tells you,
April or May.
yeah, it tells you that I would have been paying out of pocket
April.
just sooner, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Mounjaro is not necessary for me, and I will prove that point. But what it is well, for many people, it helps with
Well,
weight
I think
loss.
what happened is you got on the Mounjaro, and there was a lot of benefit. Like
Well,
it definitely
I'm not saying there weren't
brought down the blood sugar.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, and also gave you a lot of freedom to eat things that.
Well, it gave me a lot of low blood sugar
Yeah.
moments, especially at night or when we were going out on July 4th.
Something bit me on my knuckle.
And I'll say, oh, my blood sugar is going low. It's under 70. I think I'll have that mac and cheese. I mean, yes, it gave options to, or actually encouraged in some cases, eating shitty. I'm not arguing that at all.
And that's an interesting thing. It's like you have to look at it too. Like if that thing is encouraging me to eat, less healthy,
Yes.
then is it really
so
for me?
Just to put such into perspective, I'm going to read my blood sugar now. My blood sugar now is 86. That is like spot on. Holy shit!
Look good. So it's been pretty stable since.
It's been stable since we had
since
we had lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 8. We had lunch around 1:00. I had a salad, a really nice salad with avocado and chicken and all this other stuff. It was but I had a salad, so I had to make a better choice. But I did have 2 pints of local beer, 5 Boroughs Summer Ale. It was damn good. So now let's take another look, and we're gonna I'm gonna just look at numbers real quick because I think that this is an important thing to look at. My average glucose for the last 7 days, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there we go. It's 124. That's mostly with, off the Mounjaro.
Oh, yeah, because you never took your
never took my last shot.
Dosage.
But for 90 days, my average is 120. What? So now, what does that mean? Well, it means that what app am I using, Tammy? I am using the Freestyle Libre 2 app that reads my sensor here on my arm in quasi invisible with my flesh colored patch. So, what it comes down to, and I've been making more conscious eating habits. I've been making an effort to close my exercise ring on my Apple Watch on a daily basis. Look at that! I hit all 3 goals today. So I can get my 30 minutes of exercise in, and I've been trying. Rach was it's been the inspiration. I was like, you know what? Let me get some TRX in. I had Rach put me through a TRX crash course because I'm using TRX for a different reason than Rach's. I'm using TRX to open up my shoulders. I'm using TRX to get a little bit of weight training in, but not to.
Well, you know what? It's like this. You use it to relieve what's bothering now, and then we're kind of going in the back door. Like, you're getting the stretching, but then also like you'll be curious about other movements that like you might walk by and see me do, or
just stumble into myself.
Yes, and they'll be like, "Oh, that looks like you're trying to, do this," and I'll show them. So like he's picking up different things here and there.
So it's strange, right?
But really mostly for stretching right now.
The motivation for me to do this was I'm losing the crutch of Mounjaro. And Mounjaro was a hell of a crutch.
Yeah.
don't get me
It
wrong.
was a good, strong crutch.
I can eat McDonald's like every other day or something like that, or just eat shittier foods. Excuse me. I'm hiccuping because Mounjaro was covering for me. And it was like, oh, Rich, I want to sleep through the night. I don't want my sensor going off, so I guess it's time to get some triple cheeseburger with large fries and a large diet soda from McDonald's. So I didn't lose any weight on the Mounjaro. And that, by the way, that's the big thing with
That is so funny. Which, it's probably good.
Yeah. Here's Matt Jackson snuck into the room.
All right.
Somebody let Matt in. Matt, I was just talking about how I've been using the TRX. So go figure that one out. But Mounjaro became this crutch, and I am learning that as helpful as the crutch is, it led to some bad habits. So now I need to go back to my better habits because again, I didn't lose any weight. And here's the dirty little secret about these injectables. And I'm sure if I had lost 15 pounds on Mounjaro, maybe I'd be more willing to spend $4.25 a fucking month to keep that weight loss going. Because when you lose weight on these injectables, and not just Mounjaro, Ozempic or Trulicity or any of these once a week injectables that are for blood sugar, but the side effect is weight loss, you put that weight back on almost guaranteed.
Well, they're trying to make sure that you are changing the eating and having a plan. And they also recommend that you titrate off.
Right. Well,
like bring your dosage down incrementally, and that's the same way you went up.
Right. Well,
it's not gonna be.
That ain't happening.
Like a withdrawal or anything.
No.
They just want to do that for the weight management aspect.
Right. It had no effect on my weight, and getting off it so far hasn't had any effect on my weight, good or bad. But there has been a side effect. My watch tracking my sleep has been giving me better sleep numbers. Now, it could be a couple of reasons for that. It could be the fact that I'm not getting woken up for blood sugar alerts. Sometimes multiple times a night.
Yeah, that's true.
I am not having as much heartburn. I was having some serious episodes of heartburn. And it wasn't the foods I was eating. It was the Mounjaro itself. And I couldn't eat larger meals at one shot, which is probably good. RPG Grandma, welcome. I just said thank you. Welcome to, Tip Top Tap Room, TXG, Tammy, Don, Joseph. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm leaving anybody off, but so now since I am off the injectable, now I'm more cognizant of my numbers. I'm more cognizant of what I'm eating, and I am more cognizant of making sure I get my exercise in. Like today, I think I got in over 5,000 steps walking to and from the subway in Manhattan and around. I've got 60 minutes of exercise in. I'm going to do a little TRX later. I'm also finding, and I think this is helping my sleep too, is that by doing the TRX at night, even if it's only for 10 minutes, I'm doing a lot of exercises
with the stretching
that are stretching. Because there are nights when I'll go to Rachel, like, we're lying in bed, and I'm lying in bed for half an hour. I'm like, Rach? She's like, huh? I was like,
Or I'll hear him breathe a certain way. I'll be like, oh, shit, he's in pain.
I'm in pain. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it generally in the right shoulder. Now, this is the one that's kind of locked. The left, the left has the stenosis. And the stenosis is from radiation. So there's only so much. It's less painful, but the range of motion is more limited. The right has the pain, but I think we can work through that and get out of that. So, yeah, I'm changing habits for the better because I like to have the blood sugar numbers that were more under control. And I like to be able to know that I'm controlling it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, again, the Mounjaro was great, and we could go to Friendlies with my niece, and I'd have cheese skirt burger, but most maybe not finish my fries because I wanted to save room for ice cream, and then I'd have my
Well,
one
because it does come
a
with
cane
it.
with I come with ice cream, and I'd get my one scoop of ice cream, my one scoop sundae, and I'd be like, wow, before the Mounjaro, I'd have my high blood sugar alert going off within like the hour. I'm like, look, Rach, we only hit like 180, 185. And this, no, now I'll just have to fucking eat like a type 2 diabetic, which isn't a bad thing because it
Right.
means I'll eat a lot healthier than I have been.
Yeah.
So,
We don't need the ice cream, like
once in a while.
once in a while, but we don't need it every week. We don't.
But honestly, I thought initially I was pissed coming home from the ride out. It's about a 30-minute ride out to this pharmacy. I was pissed, and I didn't even realize that I was already denied with the insurance company
Oh my
on the ride
god.
on the ride home. I was
They are
already
some
denied.
evil
They denied it
MFers.
quickly. We got a request from your doctor, and 3 minutes later, and that request has been denied.
2 minutes later.
Yeah, I mean literally. So, but I came to this weird realization that it's on me, and it's okay to be
Hmm.
on me. How about your grandma? Yeah, I'm trying to get back to my old self, but man, my body has been so weird and sensitive
Oh.
since COVID. It's like my immune system has gone on vacation.
Hmm.
But hey, I can sleep laying down now. Progress.
Oh.
That was 2020. I spent. I could barely sleep sitting, laying in a sorry, sitting in a recliner. I could barely sleep. If I got more than 2.5 hours of sleep, I was like, I was calling my sister up because Rachel's working, and she's like, I got 3 hours and 20 minutes of sleep according to my watch. Oh my god, it's like deep sleep. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
You were.
it was really scary. So, but yeah, there's certain things you got to take upon yourself. And today, did it feel
Hmm.
like I got 30 minutes of of exercise in? Now, by the way, I wasn't even turning my watch on to outdoor walk for that moment for that exercise. It was my watch just reading what my body was going through and picking up on that. So by the time we got back to the house, possibly actually no. By the time we got into the subway to come back, I'd already closed my exercise ring, and that was a beautiful thing. I am trying to maintain that. Yes, this is like a game, and I don't think we've ever discussed that these little fitness watches are games. They're gamifying you, uh, doing the dopamine and
They
give you an award.
incentivize you. They give you awards for different things. I'm more into it than he is because, like like they give you like a little patch or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, I did it, and it'll just push for the next behavior, that goes in line with uh, getting healthy. So, let's see, like they'll give you like things like if you close your rings, all three rings, like your, especially they'll do the activity, like they'll be like, if you close your activity, like your exercise ring, um, 21 times this month, then you get this award. And then, they'll say, oh, if you do 14 yoga workouts, you get this award. And it's just a new challenge every month. This month, it's I doubled my, like when you double your move, like my set to like 400,
Yeah, 400
or
is
I
the
guess it's
default.
a default. Yeah, so it's on that, and then like if you get 800 3 times this month, then you get the award. So I'm 2/3 there. You have to do it once more, which I will do because um
Yes.
I can do because when I do weight training and the treadmill. in a day. That will usually put it over.
So it's weird how it works. And I really thought I was going to be very upset at the whole loss of the Mounjaro. Instead, it's actually
maybe it's going to be an empowering thing.
Yeah, it's like motivating me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and at the same time, I'm like, wow, these insurance companies know. They're like, we'll leave you on this for, well, in my case, I don't know, 8 months, 9 months. So it's
yeah.
It's like literally like a drug dealer. And I guess they're dealing drugs here.
Oh yeah, your first one's free, baby, and then they get you.
So, I mean, that is, the thing that really pisses me off.
Yes, is that dodgy.
If they had never given we'll give it to you for $25 as long as you have commercial insurance. Should have
so that your doc can like finagle it.
Yeah.
And get us in, and like, something too. It's like we have a weird setup where our pharmacy is our insurance
for most of our stuff. It's OptumRx, which is our prescription. It's our
union's prescription plan.
Union's prescription plan, but it's also a mail order pharmacy.
Yeah.
And it's
a weird setup.
It's a bit of a shit show. Now, so it's like, could I have appealed this? Yeah, I could have. But
and that's what I was like, we have to appeal it.
But then again, I did the math.
We have the time to go to see the judge.
And in the end, it isn't going to save me all that much money.
Yeah.
Because I'll just blow through my prescription budget so much sooner. Now, if my heart and of the medications I'm taking, the Farxiga, which is for diabetes, but also, interestingly enough, for heart failure as a secondary, and my 2 heart medications. These are the 3 that are still on patent. These are the ones I can't say, I can't take. I'm not gonna take. I'm gonna pass. I can't.
Right.
So when the budget gets blown, it's
okay.
It's all right. It's all right. So the next
we'll make it work.
So I'm charging $1,090 for 3 months of this medication. Holy shit! But you do it because you need it.
Yeah.
Could I justify $400 a month for Mounjaro? No. I don't need it. It's nice. It's certainly made things easier, but is easier always mean better?
Was that the better thing?
Yeah.
Good question.
So, RPG Grandma, my hubby's bone cancer meds were not covered. One dose of just one med was $10K.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I believe that prescriptions for us, if they would reach that range, would fall back under the city directly, their coverage.
What do you mean, under Express Scripts?
No, under Express Scripts. Like it's a catastrophic for certain ones. And I believe that's what would...
even though Medicare.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, with the Tower Gains, my doc has me back on tamoxifen. With our insurance, they needed some override for its use. It is covered happily, but took a bit.
Yeah,
and that's it too. Listen, we are. If you watched last night's live stream, in a perfect world, we would not necessarily be in a capitalistic society. We certainly wouldn't be in a communistic society because they don't work either. But things in this world, things in this country, happen because of profits. And one of the arguments...
You mean like advancement?
Everything. Oh. Everything.
I wasn't sure if you were
not just
like...
Well, Craig Christopher covered that yesterday.
Like advancement in
medication.
Medication, yes.
He goes,
invention.
The advances in medication generally happen in the United States because they can monetize it.
Yes.
All right, and then it's like a trickle down, and everybody benefits like a decade later or however long they keep things on patent. But the reality is, society is based on profit. If something is money losing, it isn't going to continue.
No.
So I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but naughty professor, they started me in Trulicity. I was surprised my insurance company picked up the 1K cost.
Mm.
For instead of 4 shots, I only had to pay 25 out of pocket. Naughty. I don't know if Trulicity has a lot of these manufacturers have patient assist coupons that act as like a secondary insurance. I don't know what your insurance. It could be your insurance company has that set up. I mean, when I got out of the hospital back in 2020, I did not know
About all the.
about these coupons,
Yeah.
but they were already applied to my
Yes.
account, which was beautiful. But I didn't know about them. So when I had to change insurance,
Oh, so they didn't make you aware in the discharge plan.
No.
You got to keep these coupons
Valid.
active.
No,
Yeah.
no. So it was an interesting little.
Yeah, it was quite a learning process.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, hubby's in remission right now. They rebuilt his arm bone with a 3D printer. It's amazing what we can do with technology.
Oh.
And again, going back to last night's live stream, we were talking a large part about artificial intelligence. And, there are thoughts that, AI is just going to add to society and it's going to be a net gain for society. It might be. But as progress happens, technological progress happens, certain jobs become obsolete, certain skills become obsolete. There is a change. So part of the issue that I see with artificial intelligence is it's in the world of creativity. And yes, those that are great at what they do and amazing at what they do will probably likely still have occupations that pay the bills. But for those that are just very good in that secondary tier, but very good enough to get some side work, supporting RPG publishers with their
those people will be pushed out with their AI.
Yeah, that's my thought. Now, I look at glasses. You know what? Here there are optimists and there are pessimists. I like to consider myself a realist. All right. Myself and Joe the lawyer actually had this discussion a little bit today because Joe works in the law profession. I worked as part of law enforcement. You see the world from a perspective that most people are not going to see it. And I like to believe myself to be a realist in that I would like to expect the best outcome. I am ready for the worst outcome, and I am pretty good at knowing the odds as to where it's going to land. And I would say that artificial intelligence, if you are a creative, artists are going to hit the first. It's already happening. It's when Drive-Thru RPG has to make a policy that you have to reveal if you're using AI art, and some companies are making stands on AI art that they will never use it. Writing is going to come next because writing is harder to fool. You can fool the human eye, if you want to call it fooling, by replicating artwork of others or whatever, or new art based upon old art. But to do so with writing takes more training for AI, more advancement. But as I said yesterday, we have this device, which probably has more, computing power than my desktop 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, or maybe even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And we just don't even realize how fast technology is increasing. We kind of expect it. If you're watching this stream, you're probably part of the older group here. And, I was excited as a kid when I got to take a solar calculator to school. A calculator small enough to put it in your bag that you didn't have to add batteries to. Imagine that. That was a technological advancement that I was excited about. And now look at where we are. Yeah, it just blows. We thought Atari 26 Pong was an amazing device. I had Pong. I didn't have the Atari 2600. I had Pong. And it was like, oh my God, look at this. And look where we are now. It's amazing. RPG Grandma, optimistic realist. I know that position well. The age of mediocrity via computers is here. You know, that lowest common denominator. If you have worked in any kind of government job, you will know what mediocrity is, because there are the people that will definitely stand on top of everybody else, pull ahead, because they're hard workers. But the majority find this level of mediocrity of just enough to not get in trouble for not doing your work, but not so much that you're going to stand out and God forbid, piss off your fellow people who are trying to skate. And it's that level of mediocrity. Well, you know what? Technology is going to come down to that level of just good enough art, just good enough writing. You know, I think I still have the Pong game up in my parents' place in the Poconos, but
probably not.
Oh, probably, yeah. It's probably still in the closet.
Really? They throw things out like
they don't. Rach, you see how much shit they have up there? You think they throw?
wow.
Yeah. You're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket when you go, said my lying ass 6th grade teacher. Don, I remember getting a computer with 20 megabyte hard drive, and I worried I would never be able to fill it. I remember getting my Coleco Atom because it had a daisy wheel printer. Oh my God, that thing was fucking loud. And it also played a Coleco Atom game. So, you know, that's that. That was me and.
Oh, it's a computer and a game system.
Yes, that was me at 18, and then at 19, I got access to my in-trust savings account and bought the Commodore 64C and the 64 drive.
No, I never had that.
Naughty. I have solar-powered outdoor lights, motion detection enabled, and just picked up 2 wireless solar-powered cameras from Amazon's Prime Day sale. That's pretty cool. Grandma, government vehicle behind me at work in my picture. There you go. I like that. You know, there's something. Listen, if you work for the government, you're not going to get rich, but you will get paid. You know, there's a certain stability to that. You know, you don't see too many people leaving. Compared to regular employment and in the private sector, people in government jobs tend to stick out their job. They're looking at the end game, right? They're looking at the pension. They're looking at the benefits they have, and they're like,
sure.
All right, yeah, no, I could get more maybe in the private sector, but yeah, will I be retired at the age of 48 when I retire? And my buddies, all from my old gaming group, all from high school and college, great jobs. I mean, let's see, a vice president at
Bank of America.
Bank of America. Deloitte, 2 executives at Deloitte. Another physical therapist that travels the world evaluating hospital systems. Great jobs. They all make 6 figures plus, right? But I'm the one that's retired and living happily, you know, and a lot less stress. So it's all, there's certain things
we all have our, you know.
Yes, Joseph, Commodore 64. That was 64K, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy how far we've come and how quickly, but we also feel, some people fail to realize that the trajectory of this information improvement that was going on a certain angle is now huge, right? And if it's going that quickly, Like my son can't imagine the world without cell phones. And when he was little, everybody had a cell phone. It wasn't a good cell phone. It wasn't what we have now.
Oh,
And,
like
and with
Elise
that,
can't imagine.
oh, she can't imagine without having an iPhone in your hand,
Yeah.
a pocket computer. When we watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, we're looking at their data pads, right? We're like, "Oh man, that's awesome! That's this.
Yes.
That is this." So, my God, ah, it's gonna catch up here momentarily. Opposite grandma, they keep messing up our paychecks, just our department. The accounting folks
Oh, wow.
can't figure out how to enter our data in a computer right. Then we have to call them on it. They keep trying to blame
Oh, it's the worst.
us for not being like the other employees. Yeah, I've seen
That's
crap like that too.
terrible.
Usually with my job, the screw ups were always, oh yeah, oh all right. Well, your union has just agreed to a contract, and you are owed 3 years of retro. But we don't know how to put that. The retro check, everything else is direct deposit and has been for your whole career. But we can't figure out how to put that into direct deposit. So we're going to
No.
cut physical commissioner checks for you. You're going to have to sign for your check. It's like, oh, Jesus. Why? Why? Because it's saving somebody some money somewhere.
Yeah.
That's usually what it comes down to, in my humble opinion. I am not the Cajun gourmet, by the way. Even though it kind of sounded like
Did.
my opinion. So, Reggie, I've been doing all this talking.
Mm.
What do you have to bring to the table?
Let's see. Just keep following up on my medicals. Nothing this week, but I have stuff coming up, imaging coming up, and routine imaging, like mammograms and sonogram and stuff like that. And then, you know, ladies doctor coming up, all the fun stuff. Um, but yeah, like, and I have to do more in the mouth.
Dentist stuff.
Yeah, more dental stuff. So I have to get I have two teeth that are broken here. One that had like deep filling.
Right.
Actually, both of them probably had deep fillings. One the back one they said they could just fill, and then the next one up, they're gonna have to put a crown. Then I have a small cavity on the upper.
One cavity for not going in how many years? It's pretty good.
Probably 4 or 5.
I'm probably at 10,
And so,
if not longer.
yeah. So I had to go back for another cleaning and to fill the small cavity, because he's like, we're just gonna start slow. So I've just been not obsessed, but I've been very
Yes, she's been obsessed. She's been
with
obsessed.
tending to my oral health.
She's been obsessed. Get out of the bathroom! I got broke my teeth.
I never did that.
Yeah. It's like, and then she's got this like swishy. Now she's gonna laugh because she's like, well, I know.
So there's a method called oil pulling. It's like an Ayurvedic.
It's all Greek.
An Ayurvedic tool, I guess, for like cleansing, and so they say like it's good for your oral health either way. Like anything that like cleans, anything that cleans your mouth is good and like disinfects your mouth, sort of. So I use it's like coconut oil, and it's got like clove oil, peppermint oil, oregano oil, all things that like essential oils that are good for your oral health. And of course they're diluted inside the coconut oil, so that's good. It's not gonna be too intensive or harm. So, I do that every night
So I'm sitting
for
first
10 minutes.
for 10 minutes. So I'm sitting in my chair to my right. Rachel's chair is back there in the corner behind my head, and I'm hearing.
Yeah, you see.
I'm like, what the fuck? And she didn't tell me about it ahead of time. Did not tell me how to. So I'm like, are you okay? I'm like,
yeah, you gotta stay swishing it around.
I'm like, what the living fuck is going on with my wife? I mean, it'd be one thing if she said, listen, the next 10 minutes, I'm going to be doing some insane activity, swishing things around my mouth. Don't be alarmed. Don't be confused. I'm like, all right, you're losing it. But instead, I get no warning. I'm like, and she's like, oh. And and when she goes to bed,
he's like, what's that? He like turns the volume down the TV.
Yeah.
Like...
Right. And then afterwards, she's like, oh, well, don't you know that this is to clean my blood? I'm like,
but no, not blood. It just cleans your.
Cleans your what?
It cleans your system. It cleans toxins out of your system
through
your mouth.
Through your mouth. So it's because the only flow we're talking about is the blood flow. So I'm not in the healthcare profession. I could figure that part out. And I was like, what? Yeah. Excuse me.
Maybe other people do it, and now they're not going to tell us about it. Did you made them feel some type of way?
Right? Nobody else does it. And if anybody else in our live audience was doing something like that, I'm sure they would approach their spouse and go, "Hey, just so you know, it's going to be a 10-minute bit with me.
10-minute swish.
Yeah, a 10-minute swish, and not swishing my ass. And you'd be like, okay, and then you know, I had no idea this was coming. Apparently,
if the cat can throw up,
yeah, the cat can yak, Over to grandma, tooth problems suck. I got a bad one. I'll probably have to have a pull. It's giving me issues for years. So, here's a side effect of chemo and radiation. I think more radiation, but I had radiation that would turn this side of my head bald. So I had to go get my hair cut like once a week to match my two sides up. The closest thing I ever came to getting a crew cut was back then. So what it did though is that, especially on this side of my mouth, it killed all my teeth.
So the nerves are dead.
There's no nerves. It's do what you want. It's like the only.
Well, now they don't have to do root canals on them.
Right. So like now, that being said, I did have an abscess here.
But you'll probably need an implant.
Yeah, but I did have an abscess about 4.5, 5 years ago, where I had to go to the ER to get it taken care of.
Yeah. But
that was, on the side of my mouth where I obviously had some feeling left. Go figure that one out. RPG says, swish away the night, baby. And it was insane once I realized, like, I had a tooth literally just like fall apart and like pieces over the course of like a couple of days, and I was like, didn't feel anything about that. And like pulling out like a long sticky part, and it's like, well, there goes that tooth. And it's like, I did a little research. I'm like, okay, radiation. Yeah, there you go. So I mean, all this stuff has some kind of an effect, right? The Mounjaro had an effect. The Mounjaro had the effect of getting me up often in the middle of the night, where my blood sugar was, below 55 and still going down. and I'm eating Swedish fish and sucking down Capri Sun uh, little juice containers to keep to get my blood sugar back up, and it wouldn't stay up. So maybe now without the Mounjaro, maybe I'll get some better sleep.
Mm.
RPG Grandma. Yeah, hubby lost all his hair, eyebrows, eyelashes, everything.
Aw.
So when I had my chemo, and I had my chemo, I handled it pretty well. My first chemo, I came home and I had pizza,
Oh.
and I was fine. And then 2 weeks later, I came home and I had homemade stew that my mother made, and then I was throwing it up literally like within the hour.
Oh.
So I had to learn that I would feel like shit for the rest of Wednesday because I would have chemo Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Thursday. Usually by mid afternoon, Friday, I started feeling like myself again. So it was about 48 hours. It was every other week. And my doc was like, "You're going to lose your hair." So I went and I bought baseball caps. 7 higher end baseball caps. Get that proper rotation and look. And I was going to embrace it. And as the chemo went on, I thought I felt the kitty there for a second. As the chemo went on, um, I didn't lose the hair up here. It thinned out a little bit, didn't lose it. Lost my eyebrows, certainly. Mm-hmm. I had to shave like once a month to start growing very lightly. Mm-hmm. Lost all my body hair everywhere else on my body. Everywhere else. But I kept the hair on top of my head. So my doctor was like, "Well, after the 3rd month, he was like, I don't think you're going to lose your hair." I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't seem like it." So, it certainly makes it interesting because, chemo affects different people differently. You just don't know. And all these chemos are different anyway.
Yeah.
Mine was a package of 4 different chemos. One could harm the heart, one could harm the lungs, and the other 2 were less offensive. Yeah, you go into it, and you're punting the ball until later.
Yeah,
and I punted myself right to the heart, congestive heart failure. That's okay. Grandma, he got so skinny he was a walking skeleton. He couldn't digest food. Most foods, so it's hard to keep him from starving to death. Damn. Took years to reintroduce each food as his gut healed from the chemo.
Sure.
That's pretty. Like I said, I was generally, for me, within 48 hours, I was generally eating normal-ish. But I wasn't a diabetic until I came down with Hodgkin's. And as my pharmacist at the time explained to me, he goes, "The reason why you're diabetic now is because you've been on chemo." And he goes, it may fix itself when you're off the chemo.
Oh,
it may not.
That's why you were like, it's going to fix itself.
At that time,
Yeah.
You kind of.
Yeah.
Joseph, when I started chemo, my hair really thinned like I was going bald. It came back as soon as I stopped 7 years later, but I'm back on it. And my hair is like Rachel's. It's clear.
Yep.
So it's being thinner. I really look bald unless I let it grow very long. I actually cut it very short instead. So I don't care. So, yeah, it is. This life is interesting, right? Because it always throws a new challenge your way. It always does, whether it's a physical, medical, emotional, spiritual.
Yeah.
If you're living a life without challenges, you're probably not living much of a life. That's just
right, or you're just like very privileged,
or you just don't realize that challenge. You're so out of touch that you are ignoring the challenges you have.
And you don't engage the challenges that you have,
and then they'll probably kill you in the end.
Mm-hmm.
You got to address it. So again, the weird thing about this whole thing with Mounjaro is getting effectively being denied my Mounjaro.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, you know.
Yeah, well, it seems to be uh, a good option.
Yeah, for now, for you.
Yes, Joseph. I'll live. They told me I'd be more sensitive to the sun and I might go blind. I'm an albino and I walk with a cane. So, too late? Yeah. I am more sensitive to the sun, actually. I used to burn in 5 minutes in August. Now it's 5 minutes in January
Okay.
in Oregon.
Mm.
Yeah. So, oh my God. But today was a lot of fun. Today, getting out, seeing people now.
Well, it was nice to because part of the conversation around the table was about sort of what gaming meant to them, and
Yeah.
like coming back to gaming, and what these things meant, and like some of the nostalgia was really something that made them think of how it was for them when they started gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the hit of my gaming group because my father had access to a photocopy machine.
Uh-huh.
So I could get the goldenrod character sheets photocopied by my father, and he'd come on with a stack of, I don't know, a ream of paper of character sheets.
Oh.
So, the same. Yeah, my niece has that chair now too, in a different color. It's comfy, although it might be time to get that one replaced. I've had it
yes?
Yeah.
Maybe the smaller one.
Smaller. It's got to fit my hiney.
Well, it'll be smaller because
my hiney's gonna be smaller.
Yeah.
All right. We'll discuss this. My gooshness. So, other than that, I think we covered pretty much everything I think we planned on covering. I don't want to beat a horse till it's mush like we did last night.
Oh.
Well, Rob kept on resurrecting the horse.
Oh no.
And it's like, didn't we already kill this horse? Didn't we beat it into glue? Oh, we're turning the glue back into a horse so we can beat it again. So, God help me. Folks, thank you so much. I was actually thinking about this earlier when we were walking back from our local subway station to the house. I'm like, Gamer's Health is tonight. I look forward to this so much. It really is. It's a nice intimate group. I think that's why we enjoy our little summer meetings in Manhattan. It's an intimate group. So yeah, it was hot as heck. It was an inferno in the Manhattan subway. Queens subway wasn't as bad.
Somehow they're more ventilated. Maybe the Manhattan one is like deeper down.
Oh God, it was a horror. I forgot how bad it was. I used to take it often.
Yeah, that train is deeper down.
So
our train. Yeah.
All right, folks. So, as usual, thank you all. Be safe. Be well. God bless. Roll those dice. Roll them well. Regular video tomorrow. I put a video up earlier today addressing some of my AI thoughts. And next live stream is Wednesday. Skeeter Green is going to be on the show to vent about the Ennies. So if you want to see Skeeter go off on a rant.
Is Skeeter up for an Ennie?
No. If you want to see Skeeter go off on a rant, that's going to be Wednesday night. All right, folks. God bless. Good night.
Take good care.